Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Houston, Texas. It's time for Houston Business Radio. Now, here's your host.
Hello, Houston. Trisha Stutzel here, bringing you another episode of Houston Business Radio. Joining me today is Arias WebsterBerry, the dynamic founder and CEO of WebsterBerry Marketing, a leading digital marketing agency dedicated to helping businesses grow and thrive in a competitive marketplace. Arias and I happen to meet each other through a really cool podcasting match system, which is awesome. And I am so excited to talk to him today. He is the creator of Launch Ignition and the author of Content Cannon. He equips entrepreneurs with actionable tools and innovative frameworks. His mission is clear: to empower business owners to scale their ventures by harnessing the full potential of content and strategic marketing. Arias, welcome to the show.
Trisha, thank you for having me. I'm glad that we actually got to do this.
I know. It's been a few weeks coming, I think, trying to get our schedules together, right? Busy guy. So Arias, tell me more about you and where this WebsterBerry marketing inspiration came from.
Yeah, I am an Aquarius. I like long walks on the beach. I'm Arias WebsterBerry. Originally I'm from Dallas. I grew up in San Diego, so I actually do like long walks on the beach, funny enough. And probably about 10 years ago, I moved back to Dallas, which is probably one of the greatest ideas that I had. I love Texas. The opportunities that are in this city are absolutely amazing. And when I got back here, I was really kind of putting my life back together and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I was already kind of in the marketing space. I was in entertainment, doing large scale festivals and concerts. At that time, the largest concert that I had done was at the Los Angeles Sports Arena. We had Janelle Monáe and Common and Ludacris and Mixmaster Mike from the Beastie Boys. It was tens of thousands of people. So I had tasted some marketing. And when I got back here, I went to work for a really large digital marketing firm. And that's where I got my formal training in digital marketing. And that was, it was kind of the final domino, that final piece in the puzzle that really solidified what I wanted to do. And I was there a couple of years, and then I went and started my own firm, which eventually became WebsterBerry Marketing.
Very cool. That's so exciting. And as you're talking, I'm like, oh, so many solopreneurs or small business owners don't understand when they get into business that they have to either be a marketer or find a marketer like you that can help them with their marketing, because it's a tough place to be, right? So from your perspective, what are the key challenges that these entrepreneurs, small business owners face with digital marketing, and how might they overcome those?
I think that most people, it's just either a lack of consistency or just intimidation. Many people do not show up often enough because they see all of these huge brands and influencers that are dancing on TikTok, or they've got, all this amazing transitions and they're disappearing in midair, and then they, they're flying through the air, and then they show up and they're funny. And it's just, there's this production value that a lot of people feel that they have to live up to in order to post, or they just don't know what to post about. And, a lot of it is just figuring it out. And, if you do decide to get into business, marketing is absolutely essential. If sales is the lifeblood, well, marketing is oxygen. So you either need to figure it out yourself, or you need to find someone like me who absolutely loves marketing, is willing to take that off your plate.
Yeah, I love that you said if sales is the lifeblood of your business, then marketing is the oxygen. Like, that's so meaningful. I might just steal it. I'm kidding, but I might reuse it, and I'll give you credit. And then after I say it a few times, then I don't have to give you credit anymore. I
As long as you do it once, I'm good.
Yes. Talk to me more about Launch Ignition. What is that?
Yeah. So Launch Ignition is a program for entrepreneurs that helps them plan, build, and scale their business to six figures and beyond. It basically came out of really what I went through in this like 15-year journey of being an entrepreneur. I've made an enormous amount of mistakes. I've made money. I've lost money. I've, crashed businesses. I've sold businesses. And in the midst of all that, I've kind of like Neo in the Matrix, I've figured out the process to building businesses. No matter what kind of business you're in, the process is always the same. And I took all those things that I've used to build my various businesses and I turned it into initially a coaching program. That's what it started out as. And then we built a software around it. And then AI came around. So we put AI into the software. So now it's a coaching program. It's a software. It's an accountability component to it as well. But at its core, it is designed to help entrepreneurs get their idea out of their head on paper and out into the market.
Oh, I love that. So for those people who are interested that are listening right now, Arias, how can people find you before we move on with our conversation?
I am not hard to find. If you just Google Arias WebsterBerry, there's tons of stuff that will come up, but you can go to ariaswebsterberry.com. All of my businesses are there. My books, courses, softwares, all that stuff is on there. So it's probably the best place to go.
Yeah, fantastic. All that stuff, Arias. There's so much of it, right? Let's talk a little more about so I'm in business. I'm terrible at marketing, and not me personally, but just making up a scenario. So I'm terrible at it. Where would I start, Arias, to even just begin to understand how marketing is really the oxygen in your business?
I would say really boiling it down. Entrepreneurs come to me and they're like, okay, so I have a website. Should I be dancing on TikTok? Do I need to start a blog? Should I be posting 12 times a day on Instagram? Like, what is it? What's the magic bullet? And I always tell people all of those things work and none of those things work. All of those things are just what we call traffic sources. So first thing you should do is make sure that you have a solid presence. If you don't have a website, you need one, right? You need something to legitimize the fact that you are in business and clearly explains what it is that you do. I personally will not do business with anybody who does not have a website. That's just kind of baseline for me. If you haven't taken the time, I don't even care if it's a crappy website. If you don't have a website, well, that means that you're not really in this thing. So a digital presence, get a website, maybe one or two social media platforms that have a reasonable amount of people that may be interested in your service. So, if you're targeting teens, well, maybe Snapchat or Twitch or TikTok is probably for you. If you're targeting executives, well, you should probably be looking at Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, right? So, get a couple of those. And then you just need to figure out what is it that you can commit to when it comes to publicizing what it is that you do. You don't have to publish 5, 6, 7, 10 times a day, but you do need to commit to, say, posting twice a week, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm going to do one flyer that says, we do this. This is how much it is. And then I'm going to create maybe a video that explains one minute part of my product or service. And when you stretch that over, say, a year, if you're posting twice a week, well, that's 104 pieces of content. That's a lot of stuff out there for people to latch on to and realize that you really know your stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. How important is it for these entrepreneurs that are trying to do their own marketing or even hire an agency to help them with that? How important is it for them to know who their ideal client is and what products they're actually going to serve to that ideal client?
It is of paramount importance. That's actually, so in Launch Ignition, that is the first step of 9 that we go through. We focus on helping you build out your avatar, right? There's no point in you building an offer or trying to find a solution to a problem if you don't know who you're servicing. That is the critical part. So we really dig in. We spend a good amount of time trying to figure out who is your target, who's your ideal customer. Like if you could wave a magic wand and, get 1,000 people that would service your business, what would they look like? What's their name? Where do they live? What kind of car do they drive? Are they college educated? Did they go to a trade school? Do they like Toyotas? Do they like chocolate? Like you really have to dig into who that person is, because it's very hard for you to create things for someone that you cannot see in your head or you can't see on a piece of paper. So that's the first thing that you have to do. You have to get crystal clear on who your audience is and who you're talking to.
I knew we were going to be friends. I knew it. I knew it. And I think a lot of people are very afraid. The people that I work with, Aries, are very afraid of boxing themselves in to only working with, for, next to, or serving a particular market or a very small niche. So can you talk about the importance? I know you talked about how we get there, but what is the actual importance of being really laser focused on who you want to serve from a marketing perspective?
I mean, I won't say every, but the vast majority of entrepreneurs that are not seeing success, that haven't hit that first 6 or 7 figures, it's typically, that's one of the big components. And I always ask, so, who's your target market? Who's your ideal customer? And man, if I had a nickel for every time someone says, oh, well, it's my product, my service, it's really basically for everyone. And I always say, well, if it's for everyone, that means it's for no one. No one wants a one size fit all solution. Even something as simple as a baseball cap. Most people don't like one size fit all baseball caps. They want one that's fitted, one that's made for your head. There's a reason why people don't walk around with NFL hats, right? Or NFL jerseys. They wear a Dallas Cowboys jersey or a Packers jersey, right? They want the thing that is for them. They want to know that they are part of a tribe, that you created something that identifies and resonates with them. So if you're running around trying to make sure that your business is open for everyone, well, that's the reason why they're walking past it, because you're not saying anything, you're not doing anything that makes them stop and say, yeah, that's for me. I have that problem. I'm a woman who loves pink and, wants to decorate my house like it's Pepto-Bismol. Yeah, you are the pink store. Great. That's for me. If you're the rainbow store, well, it's for everybody. And who wants that?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Again, you're my best friend today and probably for a long time from now. You mentioned when we first met a few weeks back that you had a mission to serve a certain number of people. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I have all of these crazy ideas. My team they've actually asked me, they're like, where do you come up with this stuff? I like numbers. I love numbers and I like audacious goals. I work best when there's pressure and I have a target to hit. So with Launch Ignition, we've had a little over 100 people go through the program. And I said, we need to go bigger. We need to go better. And I said, okay, we're going to help 100 people. No. We're going to help 1,000. Yeah. We're going to help 1,000 people make 6 figures in a year. And my team said, wait, what? It's taking us like 2 years to get to 100 people. How are we going to do 1,000 in that same period of time? But I'm very much a believer that, if you set a goal, you'll figure it out. So that was the goal, helping 1,000 entrepreneurs make 6 figures in a year by 2026. And then the second part of that goal is helping 100 entrepreneurs generate seven figures in a year. Together, we call that our 100x impact. If you do the math on that, that's over $200 million in revenue that we will have generated or helped to generate in these businesses inside of 1 year. Do that 5 years in a row, that's $1 billion. That's a microeconomy. And that's a huge impact, right? That is cold, hard cash that is going to help put food on the table, that is going to pay people salaries, that is going to put products and services in homes all over the world. And it's going to build viable businesses for these people, hardworking, normal people that, had a dream and had a vision. And by doing this, we're going to bring it to life.
Oh, I love that. Just thinking about the pebble on the pond, right? And how that ripple effect with one person can affect so many after. So I'm going to call yours the boulder effect, because you drop a boulder in the lake, you're going to see a much bigger ripple.
I'm going to
Very
steal that.
exciting. Yeah, I love that. I think that's fantastic. Okay, so how do you find your clients? How can I help drive people to your launch ignition program?
Typically we see that they're in their first 3 to 5 years. They're under $1 million typically in sales, typically under 100,000. That first 100,000 is typically a really, really hard hurdle for a lot of entrepreneurs. And once you hit it once, it becomes easy. Anyone who, let's say, is a coach or consultant, someone that's been in their industry for a really long time, but are not seeing the results they know they should have. Maybe they're seeing other people that are younger and less experienced and haven't been doing it as long as them, but they're seeing more success. And they're just like, all they do is post stuff on social media. I've been doing this for 20 years. Um, Type of people that we love servicing, right? People that have put their blood, sweat, and tears into their craft. They've honed it. They've got it down, but they just haven't figured out how to turn it into something that's duplicatable to see success long term.
I love that. And it takes work. I know people want to go out and just have it done for you and, puts the magic out on I'll just call it the World Wide Web because I'm old, right? Put it out on the internet and they will come. And that's
Yeah.
just not the way this works. And I heard you talk about the beginning steps of this program. You got to go do some work so that what the product that comes out the back end is people want to come find you, right?
Absolutely. There was a time where just posting on social media regularly was enough to get you attention. Everyone does it now, and most of them don't have businesses, and you have to do something, kind of above and beyond to get people's attention and to earn their trust, earn their respect, earn their interest. And going through something like Launch Ignition gives you very concise framework to be able to get that trust, to get their attention, to build your product or service into something that is attractive to your target demo.
Yeah, absolutely. So now if you're compelled and you haven't already gone to find Arias, I'm going to tell you where to find him. He and I are connected on LinkedIn. So if you can't find him, come find me and you can find how we're connected and check out all of the amazing things that he's done. And it's Arias Web on LinkedIn, AriasWeb on LinkedIn, or you can go to WebsterBerryMarketing.com and find everything else that you might not have found already. Arias, can I ask you about your favorite client story? Would that be okay?
Yeah. I love talking about this. So Coach Dr. J, she is such a sweetheart. She is altruistic at her core. She's a college professor. She's a social worker. And she's just a lover of people, and she's a good human. And she is set out to help college students deal with the non-academic barriers to finishing college. A lot of college students, they move away from home. They're around in an environment that they don't know. A lot of people that they don't know. They may not have the best time management skills. They may be a little anxious. All of these different things. Trying to find money to pay for school and all that different stuff. And she's created a program that helps students with that. She had been at this for about 10 years in academia, working a full-time job, rigorous schedule, but trying to turn this passion that she has for students into a real business. And, she is that person like, hey, I should start a YouTube, and I got a website, and I'm on blogger.com, back in the day. And, she's just doing all these things, but she really didn't know what process, what sequence to do it in. Like, what should I really be focusing my attention on? And like I said, she was at that for 10 years. And within a year, she came into the Launch Ignition program, and she has, I want to say, 3 different offers out. So 2 courses, and she's got 2 books that she's written. She has multiple sales funnels. She's got a new website. She has been, we've got her into, I think, the San Francisco Post. We've got her into a couple different trade journals in education. And now she's actually in the middle of negotiating 2 6-figure contracts that are about to absolutely change not only her life, right, but all of the students that she's going to touch with her stuff. She is a testament to just not giving up, just deciding that this is what you want to do and just sticking to it until you figure it out. She is just awesome. And, if you get a chance to look her up, if you have a college student, please go look her up. She is just a ball of energy. She's always smiling. She's always got a kind word to say.
Nice. And we got a plug in for.
Absolutely.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that story. So we really want everyone who's listening who needs a better marketing plan. Most of us do, especially when it comes to digital marketing, to go check out your Launch Ignition program. If they're not ready yet, what is your best advice for those who may not have a website yet? They don't have a YouTube channel yet. They're not quite ready for a program that you have out there. What could they be doing right now to build their business, their brand, and growth inside of just being an entrepreneur?
I would probably say probably, I mean, you need to get a technological base, right? There are a lot of great platforms out there. I would pick one and stick to it. Obviously, in our agency and with all of our Launch Ignition customers, we use Ignite Funnels because it provides everything that you need, from the ability to use maybe a templated website. You don't have to be a tech genius, but it comes kind of templated. Swap out your colors in a logo, and boom, you've got a site. It allows you to do kind of your payment processing and, send out some emails and some text messages and stuff like that. But I would say just find a tech base and then focus on one project at a time, right? So if you don't have a website, great. Say, hey, this next month or this next 2 months, I'm going to focus on getting my website up and out, right? I'm going to take every Saturday and Sunday, and I'm going to dedicate a couple hours in the next 2 months. I'm going to somehow figure out this website thing and get that published, and then take the next month or 2 and go to the next thing, and on and on and on. And again, over the course of a year, you'd be surprised what you can get done. I heard a quote that said, people overestimate what they can get done in a day, and they underestimate what they can get done in a year. And this is the perfect time because it's the end of the year. We've got 2025 coming up. And if you are trying to make next December look different than this December, well, this is the time to start, right? Put together a plan for the year and then just slowly knock those things out and make sure that, you put in enough work. And I'll say this, Trisha, you know this, you've been in business for a long time. Things typically take longer than you think they are. just the way it works. But if you commit to just doing the thing in no matter how long it takes, eventually you will see the finish line.
Absolutely. It's all about that action, right? We can plan and plan and plan and talk about the plan and pretend like we're going to do the plan. But until we actually put one foot in front of the other and do the right next step, we're not going to make any progress, which means if we keep doing the things that we've always done, we're going to get the same result. We've got to go do something better, right?
Mm.
Oh my goodness. I am so excited that you came on the show with me today. I can't wait to hear how many people are going to reach out based on the show that we did today to just query. Tell me what this program is all about. I want to understand more. I'm excited about your program. I know that you're going to go and affect 1,000 people in 2026. I am so excited about that. Arias, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Trisha, thank you for having me. It has been more than a pleasure.
Oh, you're such a giver. I can't wait to hear the rest of this story. That's all the time we have for today's show. Join us next time for another exciting episode of Houston Business Radio. Until then, stay tuned, stay inspired, and keep thriving in the Houston business community.